Hey, I'm just popping on, making a video quickly because if you can hear weird noises coming from the background, it's the teeny human playing Roblox. Right, so yeah, so it's Friday still, so this is like a follow up to Friday's vlog. I am competing with giggles. She's proper hysterical. So yeah, this is a little bit of a follow up to Friday's vlog. So it's Friday still. What? Cat's trying to climb out of a window. This is family life. The window is open. The window is open in the front bedroom, and the teeny human is not the teeny human. The teeny cat is probably trying to escape out the front window when she could. I've had the back door open for ages, and she could be out there. Is she hanging out the window?
She was. She was literally about to jump off.
Come and go outside. Come and go outside, Willow. Excuse me. I'm going on the stairs. So yeah, where was I? I'll just go and open the back door for her. She can. This is what we spent all last summer doing, was preventing them from climbing out of windows. Willow! There, go. Go on. Yeah, so I just had a realisation. If the outside the back was a little bit, when the outside of the back is a little bit more organised, I could sit out the back with her. But yeah, so I'm just down my stairs again. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, this is life, and I love it. So, yeah, it's the end of the day. If you've not seen the vlog from Friday, go and watch it. I'll put the link below. But I came home, I finished the vlog, I edited it and uploaded it, and had a nap. Yay! That's what Fridays are all about. Because tomorrow, Saturday, which the vlog for that will be up to by now. By the time you're watching this, the vlog for that will be up to. Yeah, I was tired, got up after a nap, and went downstairs to get a drink of water and just see what I needed doing downstairs. It's, let's just say, evening. And my middle one came asking for food. She's 13. She's capable of making her own food. And I think one of the things that I want to share is where practicing conscious awareness as a mum, nurturing yourself, practicing self-care, helps to keep peace and harmony in families. Now, I'm not saying my family's perfect. There is definitely times where it's not any of those things. However, what I've learned over the years is where resistance within me to do a thing was about me and not about them, and how I could make it about, like, right, where do I draw my boundary as a mum who, you know, at 8 p.m. doesn't want to be cooking food, having been out, provided food during the day. Maybe I'll have cooked during the day. Maybe I'll have done like lots of other things with them or for myself or with clients or whatever through the day. And I don't like the thought and idea of cooking food can feel overwhelming, exhausting, really not something I want to be doing. And she's 13 and she could do it herself. And all the things that come up with where that comes from, or what is repeating pattern, like, fuck's sake, I don't want to be cooking food at this time, where it might be stories told myself, stories that came to me. Like if I'd have gone to my mum at 13 and asked her to cook me scrambled eggs on toast, I'd have, at 8 p.m, it would not have gone down well. Like she might have made toast, and she did make toast at supper time often, but the extra effort of making the scrambled egg, no chance. Like literally no chance. I know she used to think my sister was crazy for cooking fried rice at like 10, 11 p.m. for her and her husband, her and my brother-in-law. But also, like, how a family does things is very, very different. To be honest, if I wanted fried rice myself at 10 p.m, I would have no issue with cooking it. If I wanted scrambled eggs on toast at 8 p.m myself, I'd have no issue with cooking it. And it's sort of thing what I then brought from this like request of food at 8 p.m and me going, well, what do you want? Do it yourself. And her being like, I have hay fever, and I'm like, oh, and I'm 13. And me going, right, where can we work together to get you what you want? And that was basically what we did in the end. It was like, yeah, I will help you, but I'm not taking sole responsibility for this, because one of our family rules, loosely termed, is if you want food, once you are of an age where you can provide yourself with food, like my eldest will go down and she will cook herself pasta bake at 11 p.m. Like she was like, she has no issues with go downstairs at 11 and cooking and making the house all smell of good food, and us all being like, oh, I'm so hungry now. So, and this is like, she's 15, so like that's totally normal and acceptable, and she's learnt that and she knows that. If she'd be most likely at this time to have a nap so that she felt more like doing it at 10 p.m. if she like woke up now, if she was like around now and was like, oh, I'm really hungry and didn't want to do it, she would go to sleep so that she felt like doing it later. And then she'd either sleep through till like 4 a.m. when she'd be drawing, or so yeah, this is just a like, if you're consciously aware of undoing familial patterns and supporting your own self, it's like, where were your needs not met when you were young that make you feel like doing things like that is about you? And where can you support your own young people to release those patterns so that they're not taking them forward through the generational line? And that was what we did. We worked together. I did the eggs, and like, she can cook scrambled eggs perfectly well on her own. The only thing that she probably struggles with is slicing the bread, because we buy like sourdough rye bread. So she like can't, like I think we all actually struggle with the slicing of the bread. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I will scramble the eggs. Please do the toast. Like, that's easy. You can do that with your like streaming eyes or whatever's going on for you. You can like time the toast, and she also like stirred the eggs in the pan, because I was either letting the cat out or I don't know, something, putting ice cream back in the freezer that I put out for this one, and you know, that's like, I was like, yeah, this is something like, it's the end of that day. I've already done the vlog, otherwise this would have gone on the end of that video. but also I wanted to get that video up. So there we go. There we have it. This is part of what I do and support when I'm doing like family support within the home education support groups that I'm setting up, when I'm sort of supporting people through emotional clearing processes, inner child process that I'm creating. They're all about undoing our stuff, because that's how we support people. And that's what this channel is about as a vlog channel, is where my experiences within my family as a consciously aware mum, raising my frequency, changing my patterns, undoing, it's like part of my soul mission is undoing this karmic shit that's been there for generations. I actually believe now, having done my own healing around my experiences as a young girl with my mum, and how and what she did to me in the way she raised me, that weren't necessarily her fault, but came down as patterns repeated, and what was expected of her by society and by the culture and the people that were around her, what was expected of young little humans within that structure, that basically led her to just default to some like mainstream choices that weren't necessarily conscious, but how she also did her own things that undid lots of generational stuff. And that, you know, was clearly the imprint that came in on me. And, you know, why my soul chose to come to earth to raise things, and not things, to raise my own babies differently, my own young people differently, and to change things for future generations, one way or another, even if my own girls don't have any babies of their own, because there's clear, like, they're at that age where like the whole thought and concept of having babies is like no, but one way or another, they will be moving their energy forward, even if they never have biological babies. They'll be moving their strength and wisdom forward as well. So, yeah, that's my little piece. This is just something else to add extra to that. And let me know your thoughts. Are there any familial patterns that you find that you put out there? What are your thoughts on cooking cooking food at what might feel like ridiculous times, or late in the evening, or you know, after you've already maybe cooked food for the family? Maybe you eat late already, and maybe you've cooked dinner but someone didn't want it, or they said they didn't want it at the time, and admittedly she didn't eat much of the pizza that I'd got them for the park, and she didn't feel like it when I offered her another slice. And you know, how do you feel about doing extra things for your own young people out of routine? I think that's one thing as an unschooling family. It's always been people, we eat when we're hungry, we eat when we need food, and we eat the food that we feel like we need at the time. And sometimes that doesn't fit into what would be considered normal by any stretch of the imagination. Like, you know, burger and chips for breakfast, and I'm trying to think of some of the other weird and wonderful things that we've had at weird and wonderful times. But like, yeah, it's very much a thing to be reflective on, of like, where do we where do we do things for our family, for ourselves? Where do we repeat patterns? Even if you're single on your own, where are you just doing things, particularly if you're single and on your own and have no like dependence and no extra responsibilities other than your own self? Where are you just repeating patterns from society about around sleeping and eating? And I remember looking at this when I was single. Actually, remember looking into like cultural sleeping habits, and I did intermittent fasting, but I guess it would be like the comparable thing to intermittent fasting with sleeping, where there's an idea that in older times, in like times in history or different cultures, sleep patterns are different, and people would sleep now in the end. It's kind of what I've done, I guess. I did have like fall asleep I don't know, well, I was awake at 8, so before that um so yeah, people would sleep sort of in the early evening and then get up in the, I guess it would be the time where we're more like open to connection from spirit and source, to do creative things and then go back to sleep. And there's like reasons, studies, science reasons why that may be a more beneficial way of our bodies producing sleep hormones, you know, that but we resist it. If we feel tired and sleepy at 6 p.m, you don't go to sleep normally in normal society. Oh, the structure of society isn't tailored to be and work that way, function that way, and do those things. So yeah, it's always something that I think I've probably always been moving towards. It's like, do what's right for you at the time that's right for you, and what is right for you isn't necessarily right for somebody else. And that's like finding harmony with that in a family circle or in a like community space can be a challenge. I think there is space for everybody's individuality in a sphere of a group of people. It's not wine, by the way, it's water. Maybe I turn it into wine as I drink it. Anyway, I'm going to go find my little cat. It's probably escaped out there somewhere now. Fortunately, she's better off escaping out the door than she is escaping out the window on the first floor. Like, you know, it's like difference. Dripping out of the kitchen window, dripping out of the bedroom window. Slightly different. Anyway, enjoy. I'll see you soon.